What's up, guys? Today we're going from Kochi to my hotel in Munnar and just checking out Kerala along the way, and it's beautiful. They call it God's own country for reasons, and Kerala actually means land of coconut trees, as you can tell. And first stop, we're just gonna hit some breakfast at this place, Clay Oven. And I decided to go with the authentic breakfast option from Kerala, which is called puttu, and it's basically like a coconut idli is my best way of describing it. It's a steamed coconut and rice with different types of curries, and I got this chettinad dosa, which comes filled with a bunch of different little vegetables, onions, cabbage, carrots, and I can't finish it off without a filtered coffee. And all this together, me and my driver, was $3.50, which is like $4, which is pretty insane. And you're already starting to see the mountains along the way. Tons of little waterfalls along the way that we stopped to check out. This is one of them. And here's another one that I thought was really cool. It kind of reminded me of Bahubali, the movie. It's called the Chiapara Waterfalls, and they're coming up way up in the sky, as you can tell. Then we stopped at a spice garden, and this is a bird's eye chili, but just saw a bunch of different plants that we eat on a daily basis, but I've never actually seen grow. Here's a great example. This is a black pepper plant. They actually grow as these green little berries, and then once they dry them out, they become black, and they grow on vines along these trees like that, which was really interesting to see. So this is a cardamom plant, as I'm pointing out, those little cardamom pods that are growing off the vines. And in the middle of this, you can see some more. Let her explain that one, but yeah, then I got to buy a bunch of spices, and they were really fresh. Then I saw this beautiful elephant that I decided to approach, and they were like, "Do you want to ride it?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" So we went off into the forest with the elephant as our guide, and it was already starting to look beautiful. We were really headed into the mountains. I could not wait to see what was next. And so they walked the elephant up to this little platform, and you can see the saddle up there that I'm about to start riding on. And that's me on the elephant. It was actually super fun, and I just fell in love with this elephant. They're just such majestic creatures, and I got to pet it, and it's so beautiful. The eyes, they really look human eyes, and got to feed it as well. Fed it like a whole kilogram of bananas. Amazing creature. Then I hopped on a zip line, and we're already starting to get up into the mountains, as you can see. This was super fun, and I think it was like 300 rupees or something. Then we went on this Jeep safari ride, and it took us to a bunch of different dams, took us through mountains, and the only real way to get through these roads is either on a motorbike or on a Jeep like this, and the views were incredible. We stopped at a little tea plantation, and again, everybody in the world knows what tea is. They've probably drank it before, but how many of them have actually seen it grow? And it was actually quite fascinating. Then we went to this other little waterfall. And it was quite a walk to get there, but it was fun. It was worth it. then back into the mountains and going to a few different viewpoints. Just absolutely breathtaking. I'm a huge mountain lover as well, but this was like nothing I'd really ever seen before. It kind of reminded me of Vermont, but at a much larger scale. And this viewpoint was in between both Munnar and a different city called Kochi, and lots of mountains there. Surprisingly, they're not too much into hiking in India, maybe a little bit of trekking here and there, but it's really just admiring these beautiful sights. And as you can see, everyone else here got here on their Jeeps as well. We call these the Misty Mountains for a reason. Obviously, when you're in Kerala, you've got to be drinking coconuts like whenever you can. And this is probably the most picturesque coconut stand I would ever find. And, I whipped out my camera, and this guy was the opposite of camera shy. He was so excited to be filmed. I mean, just look at the coconut, look at that view. Where are you getting coconut water like this in the US? And arguably the best part of drinking coconut straight from the coconut is that after you finish, they'll cut it open for you. And if you're lucky, there'll be some tender coconut meat inside, and they'll scoop it out for you, and it's so good. Back on the Jeep Safari ride, and it started raining. I was honestly getting a little worried because this guy was not slowing down, and these roads were not good at all. I mean, obviously it's an off-roading adventure, but we made it. And we made it to this next little viewpoint, and it's apparently where they used to play chess back in the day, so quite a view to play some chess. And you'll see down on the ground here, there's still remnants of their little chessboards that they used to play, carved into the stone. Absolutely breathtaking views. Then we went to another dam. I believe this is Madupeti Dam, and just tons of dams all around going through the mountains. If you couldn't tell by now, drivers in India are absolutely nuts. But then we started to head back. honestly, the downpour, though scary, ended up being a really fun part of the experience. And really, none of this land goes to waste. You know, there are all different plants growing in there, and for the most part, all using it. And we're headed up to the last viewpoint. And this was probably my favorite because even though it was incredibly misty, the view was amazing, and you could see exactly where we're headed tomorrow. Right there, you'll get a little bit of a clearer view of it in a second. It's called Anamudi, which translates to Elephant Peak, and it is the tallest point in South India. Right there, that little tippy point peeking out in the distance. Right there. Then I made it back to the hotel, and props to this guy for really helping me out with my super heavy bags. And the view is already amazing, and I couldn't wait to get up to my room. First, got a little dinner though, and they had this whole dinner buffet set up, and all amazing food. If you were wondering, I'm staying at the KTDC Tea County in Munnar. A very nice hotel. I was especially excited about this fish because Kerala is super famous for its fish. And even the plantains were amazing, and a lot of the vegetarian dishes, everything was really good. And I finally made it to my room, getting ready for a good night's sleep. But I had to admire this balcony view real quick. And it's hard to see on camera, but you can see the mountain range pretty great, and you'll see it much better in the morning. So see you tomorrow.